Hold on 1 second. Great success. Very nice. Very nice. Let's make sure we're live. All right. Hold on 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second. 1 second. Yes, one. All right. All right. There we go. Yes, we are. Audio's good. We are live on the YouTubes. Yes, we are. We are live on the YouTubes. Yes. Are we live on X? Let's make sure we are live on X. Yes. Yes, we are live. Yes. Yes. Yes, oh my. All right. Yep, we're live there. We live on Twitch. Yes, we are. All right. Yes. Yes, quite. Yes, indubitably. All right. Got this going over here. Get the announcements going over here. Right there. All right. This one over here. All right, there we go. Bobo Beef says, howdy, howdy, Bobo. How you doing, Bobo? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good in the hood with you, Bobo? How you doing? All right. All right, all right, all right. All right, let's see here. Let's make sure everything's all copacetic. All right. Beautiful. Get this over there. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. There we are. There we are. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Let's just make sure everything's all set up. Is everything all set up? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Oh, they got the little glitch thing. Let's make sure. Let's fix that. Let's fix that real quick. Consistency says, good morning, Nick. Good morning, Consistency. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. We're just getting ourselves all set up and ready. Should be beautiful. Should be going well here. Give me a sec. There we go. Yep. Consistency asks for KXIN. Definitely, man. Give me just a second. Let's just get ourselves all set up, and yeah, we'll be right on that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Yes, sir. All right. So, ABP, we got that. Okay, cool. We're going to take a look at KXIN. We just got to get the intro done and all that good stuff right there. All right. 1 second. All right. Got that. All right. Let me make sure that this looks good. All right. That's good. Over there. Little pin comment over there. Beautiful. All right. All right. There we go. All right. There we are. There we are right there. And there we are right here. All right, there we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So let's get this intro started. What's up, guys? It's Double Nicks, and welcome to another episode of Microcap Mornings. I am your host with the most. They call me DBL. Nick's in the house, aka the Rainmaker, and I am here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to regular ski. Other times she gets shot at the cannon and she goes, wee! Other times she likes to go to RBs and watch videos of puppies and kitties. Other times she likes to go and steal my lo mein. Other times she'll go to Mickey D's. Other times she'll go to Wendy's. And other times she might just go to Burger King. All right. And of course, she likes to hang around, steal the lo mein, and to top it off, sometimes she'll go into the stock market and she'll find them ABCDs. She did call some wonderful, wonderful stonks like QNCX EVMN and ABP. We call her DBM Moms. All right. So that's what we got going on. Say hello to the people, DBM Moms.
Hello to the people.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Never mind. I thought she was going to be sassy. Okay. Hello. No, you're good. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys are doing well. All right. So, yes, that's what we got going on right there. So, before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And, of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Be sure to check out that 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scanners, ladies and gentlemen. Only $9.99 for the first 4 days. Link to join us in the description down below, ladies and gents. All right. So, yes. That's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. So, for starters, let's take a look at the stonks that we called. We did call quite a few, but our top ones so far are ABP, which ran up a nice 111%. We called it for our private Discord early in the morning. All right. We called it on our private Discord. Click here to join. There we go. All right, one second. Bot right there. Boom. There we go. Beautiful. All right. So we called ABP, that ABP Alpha Bravo Papa. That ran up a nice 111%. And then QNCX ran up a nice 83%. And we called that as well in our private Discord prior to the run. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on there. Legal says, good morning, Doubles. Good morning, Legal. Good morning. All right, so let's get Consistency's pick first, because he did request KXIN. Let's take a look at KXIN. All right, so hello, Consistency. All right, let's take a look over here. All right, so a couple things. All right, I can tell right off the bat, Kaiksen Holdings, all right, down 5% as of now, but does have some news. Well, actually, I don't know if it has news. It does have some low volume over here, looking at these candles right here. So a lot of indecisive wicks as of now. All right, so it needs to break that downtrend, but also to top it off, needs to break the consolidation a little bit too, because it is a bit consolidated as well. All right, needs a lot of volume, because it's like kind of going in between the VWAP. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's below the VWAP, sometimes it's above the VWAP, and it's very, very choppy. A lot of choppy movement there. Was nearing being a bit overbought, or actually, oversold in the RSI, and then started climbing up, and now it's rather indifferent on the RSI, but needs some volume. Let's take a look at the overview. Let's take a look at some float over here. The float is 737.8 thousand, which is a little bit low. It is what it is there. volume is 11.7 thousand. Or actually, I'll call it 11.8 approximately thousand. All right, so 737.9 thousand, and then 11.8 thousand volume. So the volume is a lot less than the float, meaning it's very low on volume. Let's see if it has any news, though. Any news? Any news for it? Last bit of news was the Form 6 that they filed on February 5th. So they don't have much in terms of news as of now. So as of now with this stock, it doesn't have much in terms of news. It does not have a lot of volume, so it's very, very choppy as of now. So KXIN, as of now, very, very choppy. Needs volume to stay above that VWAP and also break that consolidation. So KXIN needs volume to break the VWAP and the consolidation. Choppy as of now. Choppy stock as of now. It needs more volume for it to become a little less choppy and to stay above that VWAP. That's also another thing it really needs to do right there. So that's what's got going on there. That is what it's got going on there. Let's take a look at EVMN. EVMN is a new bagger. New bagger. EVMN. EVMN. Wow, I look away for just a few seconds and already we got another bagger. We got another bagger. EVMN, new bagger on the uptrend right now. A little bit on the uptrend right there. A little bit overbought on the RSI though, but it is moving and grooving nicely. Ran up a nice 109%. 109% right there. Has a float of 28 million and change. Volume is 2 million. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. So EVMN. EVMN had a nice run. New bagger right there. EVMN. Called this one early in the morning. All right. EVMN. EVMN. New bagger. Shot up to 109. We called it on our private Discord. Right there. All right. All right. So EVMN shot up to 109%. New bagger of the day. Second bagger so far. Day is just starting, ladies and gentlemen. The day is just starting. Has a little bit of a double top forming right over here, though. That's the only thing. But it looks like it's trying to curl its way back up. So we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens. Let's get the support and resistance line over here. Bop right there and bop right there. All right. A little bit pricey at around $33 and change. But it has to break this line over here. This line over here at $35.18 has to break that because that's a bit of a resistance. Has to hold above $33. Can it break above $35.18? And then after that, it has to break above $37.98 for it to be so much maxi to mia. That's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. All right. All right. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Right there. All right. Give me 1 sec. Let me see here. Yep. All right. Let's see here. Just make sure we got everything all right. Let's make sure. Oh, 1 second. 1 second. There we are. All right. Beautiful. All right. So let's see what we got going on, folks. Let's see what we got going on. All right. So EVMN, that was a new bagger. Let's continue on. QNCX. This one ran up a nice 83%. QNCX, all right, had a bit of a movement going on there. So As of now, let's take a look over here. Bop right there. All right. Shooting up, bop right there. Bop right there. Formed a bit of a pennant. After that, curled its way on up once again. Bop right there. And then formed a bit of a descending wedge right over here, just above the VWAPA. Just above the VWAPA, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. So as of now, QNCX needs to break that descending wedge and also needs to break and needs to hold above that VWAP. So there we go right there. Not overbought or oversold in the RSI as of now. Was a bit overbought earlier in the day, but nothing crazy. Now it's not overbought or oversold in the RSI. It's just there doing its thing. There we go. All right. So QNCX needs to break the descending wedge and hold above the VWAPA. And let's get a share party going. Let's get to 200. 200, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Let's get to 200, 200, 200. All right, ABP. Let's see how ABP is doing. ABP has been moving downward as of late. Has been making a downward move. So needs to break the downward trajectory over here. Needs to break this downtrend and also needs to break above the VWAPA. Needs to break above the VWAPA for it to be somewhat schmexy to meh. Otherwise, you know how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. You know how it goes. Also, I think I might see kind of sort of an awkward shoulder, head, and a shoulder right here. Right there. So that's probably why it's going downward over here. A little bit of head and shoulders. Needs to break the downtrend and also needs to break that VWAP. ABP had a nice run earlier in the day, up 111%, but has since gone down. So ABP needs to break the downtrend and the VWAPA for it to be so much Mexi Tumya, but we called it early in the day prior to that 111% run. So we got that going on right there. PHIO, let's see how PHIO is doing. PHIO up 58% and climbing. Looks like it was a bit consolidated at one point and then kind of started to climb up directly. So we got that right over here. Bop right there. Bit of a choppy uptrend, but it's nothing, crazy. Nothing crazy over there. All right. PHIO, bop right there. Boom. All right. Beautiful. So as of now, PHIO had a nice shot upward over here. Pulled its way on up on a bit of an uptrend here. So we got that going on right there. Up 58%, now 56% temporarily, but it's going to try to climb back up. There we go. So we got that going on right there. PHIO on the uptrend, climbing above the VWAPA. All right, so it's got that going on right there. PHIO, 11 million float, 42 million volume. The volume is good, so it's got that going on right there. That is what it's got going on right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see what else we got. What else we got, ladies and gentlemen? All right, let's see here. Let's see. All right, let's see. All right. Let's see what we got. Oh, let's go check the requests real quick. Let's check the requests. All right. Okay. All right. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second. 1 second. There we are. There we are. There we are. All right. Let's see. Let's start off with PHIO. PHIO. All right. Yeah, we already did PHIO. Called that one early in the morning. Early in the morning. All right. Let's see here. What else we got? What else we got? All right. Let's take a look at CCO. Let's take a look at that one. That one has been requested of us. Before we do that, let's take a look at, yep, CCO should be fine. CCO. All right, CCO, very, very consolidated, very choppy, low volume on the stock. Not looking too schmexy right now. Very choppy, very consolidated. You look at the wicks over here. They're all indecisive for the most part. You got indecisive wicks right here. indecisive wicks right here, indecisive wicks right here, here. All right, all those are indecisive. So let's be real. Not looking too schmexy right there. CCO, very low volume. Not, all right, not looking too schmexy right there. Not looking too schmexy right there. Very low volume as of now. Choppy. Very choppy. Very choppy. I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch it myself. Would not touch it. Would not touch. Would not touch. All right, so CCO, as of now, not a stock I'm interested in. I personally don't like it. A lot of indecisive wicks going on there. A lot of indecisive wicks. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Let's see what we got going on. HBIO just popped up. HBIO. Let's see what's going on there. A lot of choppiness over there as well. Look at those choppy little wicks over there. Look at these choppy little wicks over here. Not looking too schmexy as of now. HBIO, very choppy, needs volume. HBIO, choppy, and needs volume to break above the double top right there, because there are double tops forming right here. All right, that's one, bop, and then right here, bop, right there. That's it, boom. So you got that going on right there. A lot of double tops over there. Not looking too schmexy as of now for me. The HBIO. Let's see what else we got going on. What else we got going on? Somebody requested NAMM. All right. NAMM also very, very choppy. Look at this. Right here. Right here. A lot of indecisive wicks. A lot of choppiness. Double top right over here as well. So not looking too schmexy. NAMM down 1%. Not looking too schmexy. All right. Very choppy. And low volume. Not looking too schmexy to me. NKTR. All right, NKTR. Let's see about this one. Ooh, all right. So it looks like it's starting to kind of spin up a little bit, but it does have low volume as of now. So it's moving up slightly on some low volume. So we got that going on right there. A little slight uptrend over here, but it's on low volume. So we got that going on as well. NKTR. Moving up slightly on low volume. That's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. There we are. Somebody, let's take a look at STRO. All right, STRO again, gapped up on some low volume as well. Again, not my kind of stock, but hey, that's just me. A lot of indecisive wicks here, gapping up on low volume. So we got that going on as well. All right. STRO, gapping up on low volume. That's what they got going on right there. That is what they got going on. Bop right there. All right. So we got that going on right there. All right, let's see what else we got. Let me see. Let me add them. All right, let's take a look at ABP again. ABP as of now still needs to break the downtrend. Still needs to break that downtrend a little bit. There we go. All right, ABP still needs to break above the downtrend as of now. Still needs to do that right there for it to be so much maxi to mya. There we go. All right. All right, let's take a look here. See what we got going on. All right, let's see. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Let's see how PHIO is doing. PHIO. All right, so we got that going on right there. Let's take a look at PHIO. And ladies and gentlemen, by the way, be sure to check out our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. You're just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. All right, so that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. PHIO, as of now, still climbing up slowly but surely. It is making short climbs a little bit. Short climbs, you know how it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know how it is. All right, PHIO, PHIO, making short climbs. Actually, no, just climbing, just slowly climbing. All right, it's a nice slow climb. It is what it is. It is what it is. There, you know how it goes. You know how the story goes. Yes. All right. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. All right. Let's see. Let's see here. All right. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. There we go. All right. So let's see what else we got here. EVMN. That one ran up to a nice 109%. EVMN. Let's see how it's doing. Let's see how EVMN is doing. EVMN had a nice pull upward. Oh, excuse me. Let's get rid of that. Bop right there. All right. And a nice little pull upward. Boom. And then basically, pulled back just slightly. Pulled back a little bit. Right there. And then curled up just a little bit right over there. So we got that going on as well. That's what we got going on right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we got going on. Yes, sir. All right. And of course, let's see here. All right. Stewie decided, you know what? He's not walking this anymore. He's going to take his little rocket ship and go. You know what I mean? He took his little rocket ship right there. Look at him. Whee! Oh, wait, oh my. Get rid of that. Let me get rid of that right there. Yes. Actually, hold on. There. He's like, whee! There he goes. There's Stewie. Stewie's in the rocket ship, ladies and gentlemen. He's in the rocket ship right there. Yes, he is. He's in the rocket ship now. What? Stewie owns a rocket ship. Right? Decided, you know what? He's going to take a rocket ship upward. Right? Going, take a nice rocket ship. Right there. So that's what he's doing right there. He's climbing his way on up right there. All right. It's moving up nicely. Moving and grooving and moving. That's what we got going on. Nice. Yeesh. Everybody should have something. Yeah. Stewie. Hey, look, Stewie made a lot of money on the stock, so he decided to, buy himself a rocket ship and just That's about it. Yeesh. So EVMN, still climbing. Had a small little ABCD pattern forming. EVMN testing the high a day still somewhat. Has to break above that $35.18 resistance. It looks like it's trying to test it. So EVMN testing a line of resistance. So we got that going on right there. Testing a line of resistance. EVMN. Yes, sir. All right. So EVMN is doing that. Let's take a look at ABP. ABP. All right. That's what we got going on right there. Yes, sir. All right. And yeah, I mean, as of now, there's our boy Stewie. He's running back. He's running down. He's running down the little hill. He's running down the hill at Mach speed. Yeesh. Mach 10. As of now, ABP still needs to break that downtrend right there. ABP needs volume. ABP needs volume to break the downtrend. To break the downtrend right there. So ABP needs some volume right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. There we go. All right. Let's see here. Let us see here. Let us see here. All right. So as of now, that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. All right. Let's see what we got going on here for NKT. Actually, no, you know what? PHIO. 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 As of now, let's see how PHIO is doing. PHIO. All right. PHIO as of now is on the uptrend still. Slowly climbing its way on up. Slowly moving and grooving. Slowly grooving and moving right there. It is trying to keep that trend upward here. Let's get some support and resistance lines for it. Support and resistance for it right here. Bot right there. Right, there we go. Yeesh. So PHIO still climbing, still making that climb. PHIO still making the climb up. All right. Yeah. There's a, yeah. That's what we got going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. All right, there's Stewie with his little mountain climbing gear. He's got like a little sickle. He's got 2 sickles. Just trying to climb up the mountain right now. There, see the little sickles? I gave him sickles. Look at him. Yeesh. DBO moms. I gave Stewie sickles. He has a sickle. He's climbing up the. He's. You know what a sickle is, right? It's used to climb up. It's used to climb up mountains. Okay. Especially in like snowy biomes and stuff like that. Yeesh. Very, very cold.
That sounds good.
Stewie looks like he's equipped. Yes, Stewie is very well equipped. He's very well equipped, especially with PHIO climbing now. Looks like he's climbing up. It's making a bigger green candle right there. Bigger green candle right there. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. Oh my. It looks like it's climbing up nicely. PHIO moving its way on up. All right. So yeah, we got that going on right there. Has to break above that $1.45 mark right there for it to be schmexy to mya. All right. Let's see about QNCX. QNCX. All right. QNCX. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Hold on. Let's see what we got going on here. What do we got? What do we got? Let me add them. Let me add them. All right. Oh, hold on. It's loading. Give it a second. ET is doing the buffering. All right, there we go. QNCX still needs to break above this little descending wedge right here. And it looks like it fell below the VWAP. So, QNCX needs to break the... QNCX needs to break the descending wedge and the VWAP right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's see what else we got. Somebody requested EOSE. EOSE. All right. EOSE. All right. There we go. Looks like EOSE is on a downtrend and not looking schmexy. Not looking schmexy at all, ladies and gentlemen. Not looking schmexy at all. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. All right. EOSE as of now. Yeah, needs to break the downtrend. Needs to break the downtrend and the VWAP. EOSE. Low volume. I can tell just by looking at those indecisive wicks over there. Low volume needs to break the downtrend and the VWAP. Not looking schmexy at all. All right. And there's poor Stewie. Poor Stewie. Look at him. He's slip sliding. Oh, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. He's got it. He's a little shy. Okay. Wee. Ah. Look at him going down there. Look at that little goober. Not really. He should have ski poles and skis. I mean, he could. That would require a lot of drawing, though. So, yeesh, yeesh, meh. We'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens there. But yeah, hold on 1 second. 1 second right there. All right. There we go. All right, all right, all right. All right. Let's see here. All right. Night Road, good morning. Good morning, man. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. What do we have going on? All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. There we go. Yeesh. All right. So, as of now, EOSE, not looking too schmexy. EVMN, let's take a look at EVMN. 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 Oh, my. Looks like EVMN. Pulled back slightly. Pulled back slightly. Not looking too schmexy right there. Had a little bit of a pull up, but then decided to make a pull back down right there. All right. So now it seems the rocket has gone, and our boy Stewie is now skydiving. Stewart is now skydiving, yes. All right. He's now skydiving. Whee! Ish. Stewart is skydiving now. Whee! All right. EVMN needs to break the descending wedge. Needs to break the descending wedge right there. The descending wedge. All right. EVMN needs to break the descending wedge and hold above the VWAPA. There we go. Let's get a share party going on. Let's get to 900. 900. All right. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. Yeesh. Yeesh. All right, all right, all right. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. All right. Somebody requested SIDU. Sidu. Let's see how Sidu is doing. SIDU. Not looking too schmexy as of now. Had a bit of an uptrend, up 3%, and then pretty much went and just created a bit of a pennant right now. So SIDU shot up a little bit, created a pennant, a lot of consolidation on it. Not schmexy to me. Not schmexy. So as of now, SIDU also had some indecisive wicks as well. Indecisive wicks right here. Not looking too schmexy right here. So SIDU needs to break the pennant and needs more volume because it's only up 3%. and not looking too schmexy to mya. So SIDU, not looking too schmexy to mya. Let's see what we got here. What do we got? What do we got? What else we got? Let me at him. Let me at him. All right. All right, all right, all right. Yes. All right. All right. So that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. All right. So let's take a look, by the way, at ASST. ASST is a meme stock that a lot of people have just been requesting of me. So I'm going to take a look at it real quick. All right. ASST, not a lot of volume going on here. Not a lot of volume going on. A lot of indecisive wicks here, one here. All right. Quite a few indecisive wicks. So as of now, ASST needs more volume. ASST needs more volume for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. That's what it needs to do right there. Needs more volume for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. All right. And it is trying to test the VWAP a little bit, but again, it is very low volume, so we'll see what goes on there. BYND. Also another stock with some choppiness to it. Chop over here, excuse me, actually, a little bit of chop over there, all right? And then some chop right over here. All right, so as of now, BYND, very choppy, very, very choppy. BYND, choppy, needs volume for it to become somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. Hold on 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just get some water real quick, please. 1 second. Yeesh. All right, that's the stuff right there. That's the stuff. Ooh. All right. Yes. All right. Let's see about OPEN. Open. A lot of choppiness here. A lot of choppiness. A lot of barcoding. A lot of choppiness. All right. And also a lot of channel. Channel time. It's channel time right there. So another channel right here as well. Bop right there. So a lot of channels, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of channels. All right. So OPEN needs to break the channels with some volume for it to become so much schmexy to mya. There we go. All right. What else we got? How's EVMN looking? EVMN. Looks like he's trying to break the descending wedge. EVMN trying to break the descending wedge a little bit. Poor Stewie's over there skydiving. EVMN needs to break. Yeah, the rocket kind of exploded and he lost his rocket, so now he's just going. Yeah, he's got the little parachute. EVMN needs to break trying to break the descending wedge, trying to break the descending wedge for it to become somewhat schmexy to mya. Right now, it did have that nice move. Does have some news that EVMN shares are trading after the company. EVMN shares are the company announced the time. EVMN, that's what it says. EVMN shares are trading higher after the company announced top-line results for its Phase 2A trial, evaluating EVO 301 and met its primary efficiency and efficacy endpoint. Yes, there we go. Also has some unconfirmed Q4 earnings due in 14 days on Tuesday, February 24th, after the market close. So we got that going on as well, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we got going on right there. Yes, sir. All right, so that's what they got going on right there. That is what they got going on right there. Somebody requested QNCX, so we're going to take a look at QNCX. All right, QNCX trying. It looks like it's trying to curl above the descending wedge right here. It looks like it tried to curl a little bit, but formed a double top along the way. So you got that going on right there. That right there. At around 23 cents right there. 23 cents curling its way on up off the descending wedge. All right, so we got that going on right there. QNCX curling off the descending wedge, broke the VWAPA, needs to break the double top resistance line. Yes. Top Success says PHIO taking off. Hello, Top Success. Good morning, buddy. PHIO. Let's take a look at PHIO. Oh, my. PHIO, it seems that Stewie's been busy. He's been busy because he's rock climbing right now with PHIO. It broke above the resistance line at $1.45, formed a new resistance right over here at $1.58 right now. PHIO broke the high of day. PHIO broke the high of day. All right, broke that high of day, ladies and gentlemen. Broke that high of day. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure Stewie decided, you know what? Let's just get a rocket ship. Let's just get a rocket ship. Why not? Rocket. Yeesh, there we go. They decided, you know what? Let's take a plane this time. Right there. That's it. That's it. Stewie's taking the plane now. He's taking planes. He's taking a nice plane. Plane trip. Plane trip. There we go. Hi, there we go. Stewie's on a plane. He's on a plane. You ever heard that movie Snakes on a Plane? This one's called Stewie on a Plane. All right. There we go. Stewie. That's my boy right there. That's my boy. That's my boy right there. All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So, let's see. All right. So, as of now, yeah, we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So, as of now, we're just doing our thing here. We're just doing our thing. All right. Hold on 1 second. 1 second right here. Let's see through over here. All right. And PHIO had that nice climb over there. It looks like it's forming a bit of a double top, though. Needs to break that double top right at the 150 mark right there. That's where the resistance is. Needs to break that for it to become somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. PHIO. Needs to break the double top. All right, and that double top looks to be at the 150 mark. 150 right there. All right. So that's what we got going on right there. That's what we got going on. ATCH. ATCH. Somebody requested ATCH. Let's see how it's doing. Not looking too schmexy as of now. Not looking schmexy. It's trying to curl above that VWAP right there, but look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Indecisive wicks here. Indecisive wicks here. Yep, not looking too schmexy there. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Maybe you could say it's a descending wedge, but even then, that is hopeful thinking. I'm more so, it doesn't look like it. Has Q2 earnings confirmed in 3 days from now. ATCH looks like it's low volume, though, so I'm not even going to give it a descending wedge. Honestly, I just say it's probably a downtrend. I'm going to keep it $1.50 with you. So, ATCH needs to break that downtrend for it to be so much mexy to mya. ATCH needs to break the downtrend and the VWAPA for it to become somewhat schmexy to me. Yes. You know, maybe, you know, fine. We'll be hopeful and say maybe it could be a descending wedge. Maybe. We'll see what happens. We'll see. All right. We'll see what goes on there. We'll see what goes on. Hopefully. Maybe. All right. So we'll see what goes on with that one. We shall see. All right. Let's see what else we got here. What other stonks do we have here? Let's see. All right. So, what other stonks we got? Someone requested BBAI. All right, let's take a look at BBAI. Oh my. Oh, whoa, right there. Look at this. Oh my gracious. Looks like it's not looking too good over here. Indecisive works here, and then just choppiness all over the place. BBAI, so, yes, low volume, very low volume. BBAI, low volume. Top successes. Good morning, good people. Good morning, top success. Good morning. All right, so BBAI, low volume, very choppy, and showing signs of barcoding. So you got that going on right there. BBAI, showing signs of that barcoding right there. A lot of barcoding right there. All right, someone requested RITR. All right, RITR again, same issue. Bot right there. Look at that. Look at those. Look at these. Look at that. Oh, excuse me. Not that. All right. And then a little bit of that right there. And then some more right here. So, again, RITR, very choppy, low volume. Not looking too schmexy right now. RITR, very choppy with low volume. Not looking too schmexy there. Not looking too schmexy to meow. There we go again. All right. All right. So, yes. Let's see what we got going on here. What else we got? Let me at him. All right. Whew. Okay. Ooh. That was a good stretch. Right there. Okay. So, yes. Let's take a look at EVMN. How's EVMN looking? It ran up a nice 109%. EVMN. We're going to take a look at it real quick. Going to take a nice little look at it. Looky poo. You know what I mean? Little looky loo. Looky poo. There we go. All right. Looks like it has consolidated a little bit and is forming now a pennant. Poor Stewie. He went. Looks like poor Stewie got impaled. Jeez, no. He didn't actually get impaled. All right. But the pennant makes it look that way. Okay. He landed safely. Okay. He landed safely. Yeah. No. Yeah, imagine that one, huh? That'd be concerning. No, we're not gonna do that. Not gonna do that to poor Stewie. Okay. Here. Okay. Pennant right here. All right. Poor Stewie has since landed. He's landed safely. All right. He has landed safely. There we go. Yes. There we go. Boom. Right there. Boom. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful eyes. Yes. Okay. All right. All right. There's Stewie. Look at him. He's safe. He's safe and sound. Hold on. There you go. Okay. All right. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Right there. There's Stewie. He's good. See? He's safe. Hooray! EVMN. EVMN needs to break above the pennant. EVMN needs to break above the pennant right there for it to become somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1500. 1500, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Let's get to 1500. 1500. 1500. All right. Let's take a look at ABP. ABP. ABP right there. All right. There we go. ABP looks like it's trying to still break. It looks like it's trying to break that downtrend a little bit. Still needs some time. Still needs time. ABP. Can it curl? ABP. Can it curl? There we go. Let's see. We shall see what happens. All right. PHIO. PHIO. PHIO climbing its way on up a little bit, but looks like it pulled back just slightly, just a hair. All right, and now has since kind of formed a bit of a pennant right here. All right, PHIO formed a pennant. Formed a pennant right there. Right there, right there, right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so yeah, that's what we got going on with that. That's what we got going on. Let's see what we got going on. All right, somebody requested SES. SES right there. And SES as of now, very choppy, not looking too schmexy, not looking schmexy. So we got that going on right there. SES. Yeah, see all that chop. All that chop. Look at all that chop. Not looking schmexy. SES, look at all that. Just straight choppiness. SES, low volume. Not. All right. Not looking too schmexy to mya. Not looking too schmexy to mya. Let's take a look at EVMN. 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 All right. EVMN needs to break the pennant. Needs to break the pennant. EVMN. EVMN still needs to break the pennant right there for it to become so much schmexy to mya. There we go. Boom. Right there. Let's get a share party going. Let's get the 1600. QNCX. QNCX. Looks like it's curling up nicely. Look at that. Look at that, baby, right there. Broke above the double top and is curling. All right. QNCX. QNCX broke the double top and is curling nicely. All right. Broke that double top and is curling. All right. Beautiful. All right. There we go. ABP. ABP. How's ABP doing? ABP trying to break that downtrend right there. Looks like it's trying to break the downtrend a little bit. Broke the downtrend. Now it needs to get to that VWAP right there. ABP broke the downtrend and is, broke the downtrend. So needs to break the VWAP. Needs to break the VWAP for it to become so much maxi to mya. There we go. It is currently 9:19. We are about 11 minutes away from the bell. The bell. Yeesh. All right. QNCX. QNCX. All right. Still on that uptrend. Still moving its way on up. QNCX still curling. QNCX still curling. Right there. Boom. All right. ABP. ABP. Trying to curl. ABP curl. All right. PHIO. PHIO. Let's see how it's doing. Looks like it's also trying to curl off that descending wedge, but we'll see what happens. All right, looks like it's trying to at least. So we'll see what happens there. PHIO seems to be trying to curl off the descending wedge. There we go. Boom. All right. NKTR is moving right now. Moving its way on up. Moving. There we go. Nice climb up 27% right there. NKTR climbing on low volume, but climbing nonetheless. It is still climbing and there we go. Yeah. NKTR climbing. All right. On low volume. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. NKTR climbing up on some low volume right there. So we got that going on. That is what we got going on right there. All right. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? All right. Somebody requested EVMN. All right. EVMN as of now. EVMN still needs to break that pennant. EVMN still needs to break above the pennant right there for it to become so much maxi to meow. We'll see what goes on. All right. Ooh, okay, let's see. QNCX. Let's see how QNCX is doing. All right, QNCX. Oh my, up 96%. 96% now. Broke the high. All right. Up 96%, 97%, 99%. Hold on. Can it get it? Come on now. Ah, come on, you tease. It's up 99, I know. It keeps on like being on the precipice. Yep, there we go. 100. New bagger. What I tell you? What did I say? QNCX. New bagger, baby. We called it. Up 100%. 100%. All right. There we go. QNCX. Third bagger of the day. Actually, no. Yeah. Third bagger of the day. And by third bagger, I mean the third one that basically ran up 100% that we called. Called it prior to the 100% run. Right there. Yes. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Let's get a share party going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 2,000. 2,000, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Yes, sir. There we go. All right. There we go. Oh, my. 106. QNCX 109. 109. 110. Oh, my. 110%. There we go. 113. 118. 118. Yeah. 118. There we go. QNCX 118. Yes, QNCX now up 118%. Boom, baby. Yes. All right. QNCX ran up a nice 118%. My pen. You stole that. Oh, that's definitely my pen because I could tell by the ink in it. That's my pen. That is my pen. You steal. No, actually, you're the thief. Thief! Came from my desk. I could tell because of the type of pen. It's called a Z grip. It's called a Z grip. It's called a Zebra Z grip. All right, and it's got. I'm gonna give you a Z grip. Hey, whoa! What you? Ugh. What? Ugh. It sounds messed up. I said it's called a Z grip. That's the name of the pen, weirdo. I'll give you a Z grip. Oh yeah. That sounds like it hurt. Just. Hiya. All right. Yep. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. All right. There we go. There we go, beautifuls. Yes, indelibles. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So, got a bit of a double top forming right over here at the 27-cent mark. But QNCX did have a nice run. Let's take a look at some other stocks. ATXG. All right. All right. Let's take a look over here. Bop. Yeah, a lot of choppiness. Look at this choppiness. All that chop. A little bit of a price spike. Broke the VWAP, though, off of some low volume. I can tell just by looking at it. Float is 11 million. Volume is 2 million. So, ATXG. ATXG moving on low volume. Yeah, not a stock I personally would be looking at because it has very low volume. Up 32%. Q3 earnings unconfirmed in 14 days. From now on Tuesday, February 24th, before the market opens. So we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on. Yes, sir. All right. So. All right. Yes, we got 2 minutes till the bell. The bell. It deafens me. Ah. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. What do we got going on here? What do we got? What do we got right there? All right. Yes. All right. All right. QNCX. All right. It's curling. It's curling slightly. QNCX curling. QNCX curling. All right. Looking good right there. PHIO. PHIO. All right. Let's get rid of that. PHIO needs to break the pennant. PHIO needs to break above the pennant right there. PHIO needs to break above the pennant for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. There we go. There we go. And we got the bell. The bell. It made the ringy dingy. It made the wee woo. Yes, sir. All right. There we go. All right. Yes. Yes, very nice. Yes, the bell. We got the bell. Very nice. Yes. Yes, very nice. Look very nice. My name is Borat. I like you. I like the bell. It's nice. I like making the bell go ring, ring. Yes. Very nice. Very nice. What'd you think I was going to say, people? Jeez. Would you think I was going to say the original line? No. Not here. Nah. All right. All right. Let's see here. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's take a look at ABP. 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 Looks like it pulled back a little bit. Tried to pull up and then pull back. Oh, wait. Looks like it's trying to curl its way back up a little bit. 73%, 75%. Come on now. Yeah, I can tell this is my pen, by the way, DBO Mom, because it has the same exact ink I left on it yesterday.
Are you talking about the chew marks you got all over or something like that?
No, ink. I memorized the amount of ink in this pen just because I know you steal pens. I memorized it.
You're a sick.
What do you mean?
You are.
What do you mean? Yes, I did actually. You bet I memorized the ink, you little heathen. This one over here, stealing pens. Stealing pens. I memorized the ink. Chat. Come on now. Come on, chat.
You want to mark the amount of black pens.
WSHP. Shh. WSHP. Okay, very choppy. Not looking schmexy. Never mind.
That was
I wouldn't touch it. It is $85 and extremely expensive. Lot of chop. Oh my God! Get it away from me. That's a lot of chop. Wouldn't touch it at all. WSHP. I literally just want to write WSHP. No, just no. WSHP. No. Not schmexy. I literally wrote just no, not schmexy. Very choppy. And low volume. Would not touch WSHP ever. QNCX is up 121%. QNCX up 121. 138. 138. Yes, very good. Yes. It is good. 138. All right. 138. 138. 141. It had a high of 141. QNCX hit a new high, up 141% right there. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Climbing and climbing and climbing. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. That's a thing of beauty right there. That's a thing of beauty right there. All right. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out, because we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times, like this one, which just went 153. Right? We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. You're just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. All right. All right. We call quite a few baggers, ladies and gentlemen, quite a few baggers, and we use all sorts of amazing tools to get it there. Give me just a second right here. QNCX now up 153%. 153%. We flying through the stratosphere. All right. So as of now, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we got going on right there. All right. Looks like it's forming a bit of a double top right there at the 32-cent mark. So we'll keep an eye on it right there. We'll keep an eye on it. All right. So that's what we got going on right there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check that 4-day trial out, because when you get into that 4-day trial, you gain access to the real-time alerts and scanners for 4 days before, the actual, full-blown subscription starts. And then, with all that, you basically get access to our wonderful scanners. Actually, let's start off from the top. You get access to our amazing war room with all of our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful community of people who love to help build each other up. They like to help each other out. They're excellent. They're wonderful. They love, love, love to make a lot of money. And of course, they like to help each other make a lot of money and all sorts of other things like that. So that's what they got going on right there. That is what they got going on right there. So, yes, they have an amazing, wonderful educational community to basically help yourselves out with, all sorts of cool stuff. All sorts of cool stuff right there. You know what I mean? So, they basically, they help each other, they support each other, they help each other out. It's a wonderful community. All sorts of amazing ideas come from that community. So yeah, be sure to check that out there. You also gain access to our wonderful scanners, such as the one that you're looking at over here, which gives you the ticker, price, volume, float, etc., and also gives you the change in percentage right over here. And to top it off, it shows whether your stock is moving up or down right there, up or down, right? And also to top it off, it shows the time in which the ticker was scanned, as well as many other things, such as the hyperlinks, which allow you to basically gain access to even more information about the ticker you want to look into, such as the chart, news, etc. All sorts of amazing stuff like that, ladies and gentlemen. All sorts of amazing stuff like that. All right. You also gain access to our wonderful newsroom. The newsroom basically shows all sorts of articles from the stock market and basically gives you a small synopsis of what's in the articles, gives you the hyperlink to the full article so you can read the full article, and also gives you a hyperlink to the stock that's affiliated with the news within said article so you can gain more information on it, such as the ticker, price, volume, float, etc., and of course the chart and news on that stock as well. So yeah, you get all that cool stuff, So yeah, that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you also gain access to our wonderful stock ticker tape. The ticker tape is a wonderful place for you to check out the stocks that we are keeping an eye on that are moving at a very, very fast rate. They basically say, hey, this stock is moving up quite a bit. This is what we're keeping an eye on right now. So you also gain access to that right there. So yeah, you gain access to all that and more. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much that. All right, and to top it off, ladies and gentlemen, you gain access to all sorts of cool stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to gain even more access, you pick out the Wealth Builders package. The Wealth Builders package is basically get everything in the real-time alerts and scanners package, plus you gain all sorts of exclusive content and other cool stuff, such as, for example, an exclusive Wealth Builders chat, which basically gives you access to the other wealth builders, as well as a direct line to Coach Nick Money and myself right there. So you got that going on. And to top it off, you get extra scanners. All right, you get an extra scanner. You also get a bunch of other cool stuff, like, for example, the Wealth Builders content, which basically delivers you exclusive content and behind the scenes footage of what we got going on. Basically gives you a glimpse inside the machine as you watch the magic. You know what I mean? And also to top it off, you get access to exclusive content like scripts. You get access to our exclusive educational content, which basically is an educational course with over 500 plus videos that show how we trade and what works best for us. All right. You also gain, again, a direct line to us. All right. And to top it off, you also get exclusive access to the scripts. You get access to it behind the scenes content. You get access to our archives, all sorts of cool things that we have basically called in the past since the inception of Coach Nick Money. You get access to all that and more, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that's pretty much it there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And of course, if you want access to our private Discord, again, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out, because we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We called ABP Alpha Bravo Papa at 111. Well, prior to its run up 111%. We called QNCX Quebec November Charlie X-Ray up 153%. We called EVMN Echo Victor Mike November at prior to that run up 109%. And then PHIO Papa Hotel India Oscar prior to that 70% run. So we are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, it gets the cash. All right. So yeah, that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. So take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. All right. Make a lot of money. Be greenable. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we call you indelibles because you are indelible. You are one of a kind. Leave your mark, ladies and gentlemen. Leave your mark. All right? Make sure it is unerasable, a.k.a. indelible, and all sorts of other cool stuff. You know what I mean? Little cool stuff. All right? Remember, ladies and gentlemen, you can check us out on our YouTube channel at Coach Nick Money, where we do lots of stock reviews, stock analysis, and other amazing bits of content right there, such as shorts, such as long form videos, live streams, all sorts of cool stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check that out. All right, so be sure to check out our YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe there. Like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Also, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our X.com, aka Twitter, at Coach Nick Money. At Coach Nick Money. You can find us there, where we do lots of live streaming there as well. We do lots of stock reviews and analysis, all sorts of cool stuff there as well. All right. You can find us on Twitch at Coach Nick Money. At Coach Nick Money. And of course, you can find all sorts of live streams there as well, because we do a lot of live streams there. And you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Coach Nick Money. Yes, as well as TikTok, Tiki-Taki, a.k.a. the Tac Tac. The Tac Tac. You can find us there at DBL Nicks. At DBL NICKS. And the screen name is Coach Nick Money. There we go. Yes, there we go. All right. So, as of now, that's what we got going on right there. That is what we have going on. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out all that cool stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, much love. It's Double Nicks. I love you guys. Be sure to stay tuned for our next episode of Power Plays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to check that out. It is basically a wonderful show hosted by the legend himself, Coach Nick Money, as he traverses the stock market prior to Power Hour and basically gives his reviews and honest analysis of each and every stock. All right? Each and every stunk. And then that's basically what he does there. Lets those stunks simmer on high heat. Right? Lets them simmer on the high heat. And then basically, he lets them cook. Lets them simmer there. And while he does that, he gets some dubs for the community in Fortnite. That's what he does right there. He gets some dubs for the community. Dubs for the community right there. W's. WWW. Yes. And of course, That's pretty much it right there. It's Double Nicks. I love you guys. I'm here with the Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Hold on, I need some water, please. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Ah, that's the good stuff right there.
Good there. Good run.
Exactly. All right. She likes staying around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to regular ski. Other times she likes to get shot at the cannon and she goes, wee! Other times she likes to go to Arby's and watch videos of puppies and kitties. Other times she'll go to Mickey D's. Sometimes she'll go to Wendy's. And other times she'll go to Burger King. And to top it off, there are other times she'll just straight up steal my lo mein. And, of course, she likes to go into the stock market and find them ABCDs. And, you know, I don't know about that whole lo mein thing, but I think I might need some security on that lo mein. So that's what we got going on over there today. All right. Much love. Say hi to the Serengeti specialist, Stevie Moms. Hey! That's pretty much it. Much love. It's Double Nicks. I love you guys.